We just had one of the craziest OTAs I've ever seen in my many years of playing Marvel Snap, and I think there is a line open in the metagame. And that line would be the combo space of the meta, following the absolute slaughter that Star-Lord took alongside Fin Fang Foom. The combo space now remains vacant, and what was otherwise a pretty oppressive combo deck being able to run tech cards like Legion, like Juggernaut, like Goliath, you name it. That deck had so much interaction to keep other combo decks down because it was so good at taking priority when it would do its Star-Lord into Arnim Zola and have a Jim Hammond on the board. It would always take priority and it would always screw up with your onboard combos that you were trying to create. But that deck is now gone. It is not a part of this meta anymore, and even if it is, you might be able to take priority from them and be able to flip the roles. So today we are taking a look at a new build of my Tribunal deck that has been around for months and months and months at the top end of Infinite and all over the ladder, but it looks a little bit different than you might have otherwise seen. And that change is that Mr. Fantastic is no longer in the deck. In this OTA, Tribunal did take a bit of a nerf with the change to how multiplicative scaling works with cards like Onslaught, stacking it with additional copies via Mystique, via Prodigy, via the Moonstone. This takes your ceiling for the colloquially known Splat combo, which is where you play Mr. Fantastic, Moonstone, Onslaught, and Mystique all in the center lane. You get 100, 120 points in each side lane. This reduces the ceiling by a lot. I did not do the math to see what it comes out to now, but I do not think it will be as dominant of a way to win games. So we are adapting the Tribunal deck to the OTA change and now to better be positioned into the new metagame that we are heading into. And we are mainly doing that via consistency. Not only are we adding Magus to help us see our Sera, our Iron Man, our Onslaught, or our Tribunal, whatever we don't draw. Mainly the Iron Man and Tribunal is what we care about. We're using him to tutor to those cards in our deck, and we are also using Cosmo to prevent our opponent's game plans and additionally prevent us from being interacted with stuff like Cosmic Ghost Rider or people trying to take away our Limbo with a Scarlet Witch or with a Merlin spell. So with all that out the way, let's jump into a card-by-card breakdown for this list to help you understand and play it better yourselves. The first card in this deck is Ravonna Renslayer, and she is particularly powerful in cheapening the cost of your Iron Man and your Mystique. She's a little less useful in this new build, losing one target, which was the Mr. Fantastic, but she still does very strong things in terms of combining her with stuff like Moonstone, where you get to have an alternate game plan of doing an Iron Man and an Onslaught in one location, and then a Ravonna, Mystique on the Iron Man, and a Moonstone in the other, and you get 2 lanes of double Iron Man, which is very often enough to win games of Marvel Snap. Additionally, her discounts just help stack up to let you play more things throughout the game when you have additional energy, whether you have a turn 7, whether you played a wave and now you're playing a 4 cost 6 drop alongside 2 cost Mystique. She helps enable these combo curves and just cheat a little bit of energy, but it is very important. The next card in the list is Magus, and this guy has been a consideration for the deck since he came out, although it was a little bit too tight when we had the Mr. Fantastic combo. Now, with that being much weakened, we were able to easily slot him in, and he is a very good consistency piece. One of my favorite things to do with this card is full float on turn 5 after playing down a Moonstone on turn 4, and then this guy will either copy Sera or Iron Man, and because he's under Moonstone, you'll get 2 of those effects. So you can get double Sera, reduce your whole hand by 2, and even still have a Limbo on the board where you get 2 turns of this crazy, insane energy cheat. I will say there were some games where I had both Iron Man and Sera in deck, and I think I misplayed where I floated early and then I ended up getting a Sera and then I drew the Sera. So I think sometimes you want to play around having one specific target when possible. As far as which 2-drop do I typically play out first, I think it kind of depends on what I am drawing. If I'm drawing the stuff that can be discounted by my Ravonna, I will tend to play her out earlier if I have the Moonstone especially, or I will play Magus if I have stuff like a Magik, a Wave, a Luna Snow, a Cosmo, stuff like that that is not going to be discounted in hand. If I have that kind of stuff, I will play out my Magus. But if you do have Iron Man and Tribunal in hand, you probably are looking to do a Ravonna because those are your targets you want to hit with this guy. Mystique is in here almost exclusively to duplicate a Iron Man or an Onslaught, but occasionally you will use her to Mystique a Cosmo, which is one of the best ways to shut down your opponents and steal cubes. There have been a lot of games I've played with this list where I have priority and there's still another turn and I have my whole Tribunal combo down and I know I don't need to go that much taller, and I just play Mystique Cosmo. My opponent's trying to do show Lao things, they don't get any of the triggers, and I am just big enough because they didn't get to do their output. The only other real notable thing with her is make sure when you are doing your limp lines of playing down an Iron Man in one lane and Moonstone in another, make sure that you're separating those two cards because the Mystique is going to go underneath the Moonstone and go exponential, although you can stack all of them if you are going for a really greedy Tribunal line. Magik is in this deck to extend the game to 7 turns. She gives you an additional draw and she gives you 7 extra energy. She's just an all-around all-star. You do need to be very worried about people interacting with her with things like Scarlet Witch, but you're able to Cosmo behind her now, which is an adaptation this list has made to all the location change, and you end up being totally safe. So really, the main thing you have to be worried about is a Legion. So decks like Hela, decks like Ramp, do be skeptical as you are going into the later turns of the game on if they are going to rug pull you. I will say sometimes this can be used to your advantage though, and you could bait your opponent into rug pulling you, which they often tunnel vision on, and you're able to just beat them anyways and just double your cubes for free and take your free lunch money. Cosmo for months now has been one of the best tech cards in the game, and with this list being so focused on the ongoing effects, you are able to really utilize all the juice here where you do not care about getting your own on reveals blocked for the most part, and you are able to shut down your opponent's game plan and drag them down when you're not doing your crazy combos. But additionally, he serves to slam the door shut when you do have your full combo down and you're expecting your opponent to try to play a Red Guardian onto your Iron Man. You drop a Cosmo down with priority, that doesn't happen. They stayed in thinking it would happen, and now the cubes double. So very strong card, and like I said earlier with Mystique, be aware of times where you're able to do a double on reveal shutout, because that could be extremely potent. Luna Snow is just goated. You want to drop her down on turn 3 pretty much all the time. She's your ideal 3-drop. Unless you only have 6 cost cards in hand, then wave. But Luna Snow into Sera is often your best draw. Additionally, she enables stuff like Luna Snow into Iron Man, into Onslaught, into Tribunal. She's a very core card to this deck, and her body at 3/6 is very valuable when you are trying to scale your lanes with Iron Man multiplying the base power at that location. The 6 on her body does matter a lot. Same can be said for Wave. 3/6 is just an absolute great stat line. You play down a Wave on turn 3, very often ends up being asymmetrical as people are looking to run stuff like Show Lao, although given this is all changing, it's up in the air. This is early after the OTA. Maybe people switch to playing more big-oriented decks, but as of now, that's not much of a concern. Wave allows you to get down an early Sera, an early Onslaught, an early Tribunal, an early Iron Man. All that is very potent, very powerful stuff you are wanting to do. One thing to note, though, is ideally, if you do Wave into Sera, into Onslaught, that is better than doing it the other way around where you Wave Onslaught Sera, because doing it the first way, you're able to still have your Mystique target the Onslaught, which could be very valuable. Moonstone is so goated with the 2-cost cards in this deck. Playing her with Ravonna gives you access to a 1-cost Mystique and a 3-cost Iron Man. Playing her down with Magus gives you access to double Seras, double Iron Men, double Onslaughts. She is an absolute force multiplier with these cards, and she also works extremely well with Mystique, giving you access to double Onslaughts or double Ironmans, and can just really raise the ceiling of this deck. A lot of people were concerned with the change to multiplication, if Living Tribunal would have enough points to be able to function still, and you were very easily still doing 30 plus points in each lane, barring getting any of this Moonstone stuff to pop off and roll into your favor. This is what the deck is built around. You are pretty much not winning when you don't see Iron Man or see Magus to pull your Iron Man, so be very willing to retreat when you don't have him in hand. But this guy is just absolutely goated. He doubles your power. Onslaught doubles that effect. Getting a Mystique and a Moonstone gets that effect even more times. You're just trying to spread this out as much as possible, get as much doubling as possible, and disperse it all with the Living Tribunal. Sera gotta be one of the key cards in this list. She is so good at being able to get the cost down in your hand and be able to play out these combo lines. She also lets you limp around a little bit, where you play down a Wave or you play down a Luna Snow. You drop a Sera, you kind of wait to draw things, you play a Magik out. You're just like floating around while you're drawing your key combo cards, and then you're able to stack them all in real powerful ways when you get, say, an Onslaught onto her. You get to do your whole combo on the final turn of the game. Onslaught is in here to boost the effectiveness of your Sera, of your Iron Man, of whatever your Magus copied. He's very good, but he's not the most important 6-drop in the deck, to many people's surprise. I know he was the thumbnail for this post, but he really shouldn't be. And that's because this guy is the GOAT. This guy is what allows this deck to exist and to have a secondary game plan. Not only are you able to do the multiple lanes of the Moonstone Mystique Iron Man, as well as the Iron Man Onslaught, but Living Tribunal allows you to just throw that all in one lane, spread it out amongst 3, and you often end up with even more points than if you did the split up way. You do need to be wary about people trying to interact with this guy, such as a Negasonic out of a Supergiant deck, or people running Enchantress and Cosmic Ghost Rider. That's with every card in this list. You need to be thinking about these things, but this deck is very equipped to play around that and very suited for high ladder gameplay and climbing. That's enough yapping about this list. Hopefully you guys now better understand how this list fits into the puzzle that is the current metagame and what makes it so much better positioned than it just was a few weeks ago. I'm recording this one before the gameplay this time, so we will see how the gameplay goes. We're probably going to jump into 5 games, see what we can do, what we can tear up on the ladder, but do expect to see me playing this a lot if you do queue into me anytime soon, or if you catch me on my next live stream. Be sure to like the video, comment on what combo deck do you think is now positioned well in the meta, or it doesn't even have to be combo, just what deck period do you think is now better off following the effects of the OTA. Be sure to let me know. Thank you for watching this far into the video. I really appreciate it the most. Enjoy the gameplay, and I will see you guys in the next one. Alright, here we are, game 1. We have a nice early curve here with our Ravonna, our Magus, and a Wave. Superflow is extra nice to be able to curve us into our large combo cards. But for now, we are just going to drop down the Magus. No point to Wave yet, as we do not have any targets in hand for it. Them playing Brood out so early signals to me that it might not be a new Storm Silver Surfer deck, because they did not get 2 turns of floating. We're going to play Mystique down in the Sinister London, or sorry, not Mystique. We're going to play Moonstone down in Sinister London, as she's going to be extremely powerful. And I think this game is going to become an auto snap as long as I just draw my Iron Man. I think we're going to be very chill. We do kind of want to get a Magik down first. If we get Magik down, we extend the game, then we're going to be able to double Cosmo them. Again, as I talk about in other videos, I'm not going to snap here because I do want them to stay in this game as late as possible. But I feel like this has to be extremely scary if you're the opponent staring down the gun of what this Tribunal deck will be able to put out. If I see my Iron Man, there's the double float. I think they are going to be playing new Storm stuff, but little do they know they will get 0 on reveals to happen. Feels bad for the opponent. There's the retreat with the Cosmo. That's kind of what I figured would happen. All right, hopping into game number 2, I similarly have a pretty nice hand. I like seeing one half of my combo, and there is the second half. I think this is just honestly an auto snap once I see what he's playing. If it's something that can't interact with me, I'm going to go extremely tall on this game. Let's see, wave will allow me to get down an early Sera, which then lets me float on turn 5, and then turn 6 I would have a little bit of energy for Living Tribunal. What's the alternative? The alternative is I just drop a Ravonna down now into Moonstone, into float. Still also not that crazy. I think I am just going to wave and go for this draw, although we're likely not going to use it. Maybe we could surprise with the Moonstone later. I think we do this, and we give this guy a little snap. Boom, snap. Next turn we float. Final turn we play the Moonstone, and we play out the Ravonna Renslayer. And I'm not mathing, but we're going to have double Iron Man in the left lane with a lane of, let's see. I said I'm not mathing, and then I'm mathing it out. We're going to have 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 6 is 24. Times 2 is 48, times 2 is 96. We're going to go very tall. Unfortunately, we draw the Iron Man, so that actually kind of makes our output worse, weirdly enough. But look what we could do. We can extend this game with a Magik here, and we're going to be able to do the same stuff regardless. Might have to Cosmo this lane, though. Let's see. What are we going to be able to play next turn? Yeah, let's see. We'll have enough energy to just do... Yeah, we're not going to be able to do Cosmo plus something else, but that's fine. We are going to extend this game. I don't suspect location change from this deck, but I could be wrong. We'll see. Here comes Brood. That is nice and large. There comes Storm. They're certainly doing good stuff, but will it be good enough is the main question. We're going to be able to play down an Onslaught, which will get us extra cost reduction. Then we are able to go into a Iron Man, a Mystique, a Moonstone. Alternatively, we do... this is just our best play. We do this. There's a Maverick. Can it compete with a location of something like this? That, I don't know. We don't have priority, so I'm going to drop the Luna Snow over here. But I think we likely end up winning this. Also... I think I'm going to play it this way and then that way. I think this 1 point is actually a little... Well, it's a 2-point difference, but I open myself up to getting Cosmo'd. And that I don't fancy. So I'm going to play it how I originally had it drawn up. Maverick coming down, hits another Brood. Silver Surfer comes down, and they're going to have another Silver Surfer. They might go over the top of us with having... Oh, never mind. No secondary one, but 36 is still a bit to beat. Get the first Iron Man. Here comes the second. Gonna boost us probably less overall. Oh, they do go over the top. GG's to the opponent. That was a good game. I do think I slightly misplayed with... I should have played this Magik elsewhere and opened up the space for me to do everything in one lane. To do Onslaught, Iron Man, Mystique all in one lane. I should have played Magik and Ravonna Renslayer separate from each other. But that's a little bit of the rust wearing off. Here we are into game number 3 against Volcano Man. Hell's Kitchen, very much a useless location for us. We could care less about that one happening. Iron Patriot's a little scary, but we're going to be able to somewhat contest at least with a Luna Snow. Ooh, Elysium's very cool. I almost want to just play down a Magik to keep the Elysium and say, look, whatever you're doing, if I get my Iron Man, I'm doing it bigger, I'm doing it better. Ravonna Renslayer's fine when we already have a Sera applied to our hand. And they're going to be pretty tight on board space here to be able to interact with us. I'm just going to drop down a Sera. I would normally try doubling it up, but with Elysium down, it's already doubled up. I think doing anything more than that is just going to be doing too much. Although we very well might not draw our Tribunal this game, and it could be one where we set up an Onslaught lane and a Moonstone Mystique lane. Cosmo comes down, so Limbo's locked in. Interesting. There's the Iron Man. We have access to the Iron Man Mystique type gameplay. We're just going to play down Onslaught there in the mid lane and let it float. We could also play even more passively and do... No, I think this is right, to play around not drawing our Living Tribunal. We'll do Luna Snow in the right lane as to destroy it immediately for them. But I messed up snapping last game. This game should actually be a snap. Last game should have been 2. I just misplayed. But this game, we're not going to do the same thing. So we're going to play down a Magus, a Moonstone, an Iron Man. And then we're going to have 8 energy. So we are going to need to float. I guess, hang on. Magus shouldn't even go there. No, he has to go there to break the ice cube. So this is the right play. We're going to play like this. This will allow us to have enough energy to float. Next turn, we should have Mystiqued our Iron Man right now. Wait, we win anyways. Pending the gambit, we win anyways. That's what I'm talking about earlier when I introduced the deck, where people absolutely just tunnel vision on, I'm going to rug pull you. And they don't even think, do I win in power if I rug pull you? Very often they don't. Here we go, game number 4. We might end up doing a bonus game compared to normal since the first opponent retreated immediately on that Cosmo, but that stays to be seen. Sunspot coming down makes me think this is a high evolutionary gamer, probably the one that runs the Shang-Chi Red Guardian, if I had to take a wild guess. Here I'm probably just going to play my Magus out. I don't see much reason to do anything else. Iron Man comes down, perfect. Cyclops in that lane is annoying, but it is what it is. Krakoa. That can be actually much more beneficial to the opponent than it can be to me, so I'm going to try to get rid of it ASAP. We're likely not going to be playing much into the astral plane. I'm guessing he's going to be floating every turn to punish Iron Man again, but maybe we will try going into there if we were able to stack up some crazy discounts. Here's another float. I don't think he's going to try removing Limbo. I feel like that's probably beneficial to the opponent as well. Although with that snap, I'm not so confident. I would like to float next turn if possible. Floating next turn nets me a Sera. I think I'm going to lock the Limbo in, and we're just going to play to win Panopticon. Cyclops comes down, and it's fine. I'm going to stack all my power left. I don't really care about these micro afflicts in the other lanes. Alright, so we know we're locked in for an extra turn. This will give us a Sera discount on our entire hand. Although we might need to use it. We may need to use it for actually drawing the Living Tribunal. This is where it gets iffy. We have 2 more draws, so it's 50-50 is the proposition we're looking at. We are staring down a 50-50. But if we don't do it now, let's see. We're not going to be left with much. No, I think we have to take this risk because we're not going to be able to get... I'm talking too fast, but we're not going to be able to get enough power into a regular lane if we try doing the float for tribunal thing. We're not going to be able to get enough power down into our Iron Man lane, is what I'm trying to say. And there's our guy, the Living Tribunal himself. We're just going to start dropping down some points into the mid lane. 9 on his body. Ravonna will come down. Then we'll be able to do an Onslaught and an Iron Man. And we'll be, let's see, -1, -2. Let's see, -2, -4. So we're going to go -4 power from what we have now over the next 2 turns of him floating. So that means technically this is at 5. We're going down to 1. We're adding 6, but we're doubling it a lot. So we will be positive in power, if I calculated correctly. There's a Star-Lord, perfectly fine with me. Ravonna comes down. Oh, we actually don't have enough energy to do it, is our predicament here. I did not count that out. So we very well could be a little screwed. Let's see. Iron Man, Mystique. No, we're going to be a little bit tight on points here. We could just do this, though. This is much less, but I think it's still fine. I think we just do Luna Snow into an Onslaught, and we get a lot of points out of nowhere. How many points? That I am not sure. We will see if we go over the top of them. I don't know. 17 and 15 looks likely, although this afflict will be a lot. Perfect. Sunspot floats up. Nope. There we go. See, it was not that much, but we were able to squeak out the dub. Even with being hit with, let's see, -6, -7, -8, -9. We had -9 power in our lane. That times 4 So what? We had minus 36 power overall from all these afflicts, not even counting the other lane. Next game time, immediately what I see in hand is a safe space for our ongoings to sit. I see a guaranteed Iron Man, whether we draw it or whether we Magus it. We draw it. All right, now what do I see? I see maybe floating on turn 3 to try to roll into a Cosmo. Would be very cool. We have another high evolutionary gamer we're going up against. We just draw the Cosmo ourselves. I'm just extremely happy about everything that's happening here. I'm going to play down this guy and just drop a snap right off the rip. Literally any card I pull here would be great, but preferably it is the Sera or the Iron Man or the Onslaught. We get the Onslaught. Beautiful. Of course, another game where they get the Cyclops. I can't even lie, that feels a little bad. We're going to Magus float and hit our Moonstone. That's not even necessarily great. We'll just drop a wave down. Yeah, so they're going to be able to interact and actually generate a lot of power for themselves by just giving us minus, which sucks so bad for us. Let's see, if we do this, can we do anything cool? We get double discounts, and then Onslaught goes to 4, Iron Man goes down to 3. Still not enough energy to actually make that function very well. We just drop a Tribunal into an Iron Man. How many points is that? Tribunal puts us back up to 7 points. We're going to go down 4, which puts us to 3. -1 is 2. We honestly, I think we're just cooked, guys. Barring drawing, we're playing for our outs here. We're playing to draw the Moonstone, is what this Sera plays for. Kind of fortunate draw from us, but also just unfortunate that we're, like, afflict the Cyclops is putting on us is multiplied by 2, which just makes it feel so much worse than it actually otherwise should be. To where, like, final hand, which looks super powerful, we should have 1, 2, 3. This should be 0. We should have 8 points here that goes up to 16 and then 32. Instead, we have 0 points because we've been hit with that many afflicts, which is quite terrible for us. What do you think? They put 6 power in nowhere? They might abandon it. It's a little risky. I went double into it. We're going to lose this pretty handedly. Very unfortunate. I hate to see it, but sometimes that'll happen. We get a good astral hit. They got a great astral hit as well. And that's just how the cards fell. And unfortunately, we weren't able to go for the float on the Magus. So sad, but it'll happen. Bam, what a banger to start off this following game. We get to just drop a turn 1 Onslaught, which is crazy. We have the Magus, so we're going to be able to at least tutor down to a 50-50 of hitting our Iron Man. And we have the Tribunal in hand. I'm here is signaling snaps. Oh, okay, it's still a trigger. I was really confused. For whatever reason, I was thinking Storm wasn't on reveal, even though she's not. Here comes the Ravonna down. Honestly, maybe should have played Magus, if I'm being very objective. Wow, okay, Iron Man. And both of them are down to 3. Holy shit. Like, I didn't say it before, I'm saying it now. You should snap this hand every freaking game. Actually crazy. And we drew one, too. We drew a copy as well. I think we're going to play Luna Snow into Living Tribunal, and then hopefully we get to do Iron Man. Mystique would be very nice. I'm not going to snap because I suspect this guy will just run. We also could do a Cosmo Iron Man. Very strong final turn as well. Here comes Tribunal. We should have priority unless they get maybe a Bruce Banner proc. That won't even flip it. Yep, they got it. It didn't flip it. And now we're just going to play Iron Man and Cosmo and do a billion points on some stupid draws. Yeah, up left. I don't blame him. I haven't seen that emote. I like it. That must be new with the Grand Arena.